Hi everybody, my name is Anthony Magnolia. This is gonna be my first YouTube video. Awesome. Just got my nails done, did my makeup, feeling fierce. So let's get into it. But first, okay, so what I want to talk about today is beauty standards in the gay community. As someone who is both certifiably beautiful and gay, I am, qualified to talk about these things, fuck. I am qualified to talk about these things, even if you aren't in the gay community or you're just a member of the LGBT community at large, or you literally just don't know, like you're curious and that's why you're here. There seems to be some like toxic beauty standards. Let's be real here. It is being like 6 foot tall, white, having a muscular body, and being like straight presenting. People say like mask or masculine presenting, but like I really don't think that that's like addresses the root of the issue. Like it's being straight presenting. Like you do not want people to question your sexuality. And we can like address the nuances of this. So on one hand, I do see the benefits of not being feminine presenting. Like one, people aren't going to treat you differently in public. They're going to treat you like a straight man, which is nice. Let me tell you, like when I go out in public with no makeup, facial hair, and like sweats and stuff, like my brain is turned off to those things. Like I literally am just not worried about like being catcalled or someone saying something to my face or behind my back. I'm not really as worried about my safety. So like I totally understand the benefits of like being straight or masculine presenting in public. Like it is safer, which is sad, but it's true. Like it's the reality we live in, and let's accept that. We can get into like the systematic issues, but like the system doesn't change overnight. Like change is gradual, change is slow, especially in America. Let's look at the cons. Some people are so caught up in it. We can look at porn, cinema, the whole thing. The ideal man, like the heroic, strong jawed, like muscular, dark featured white man, is like all that we see. I mean, it's not all that we see. Like, you can literally find everything. Like, it's the internet, you can find whatever you're looking for. But as a young gay kid, like when I was exploring my sexuality online, woo, hashtag, that's where I first explored my sexuality. Like, I did have a boyfriend, but from the time I was like 12 or 13 to the time I was 15, the internet was it. All that I saw, like initially, was these chiseled, six-pack having, strong, like big arms, muscles. I'm just throwing out words at this point. White guys, mostly white guys. Like there was occasionally black men, but it was like clearly disproportionate. Like 25% or less of the actors were black or non-black people of color. But when you're young, right, you're like nervous already because you're like, I'm doing something I'm not supposed to. Like people don't really talk about this. One, being gay is like another thing to just throw into that like mess of a fucking time in your life. Like so you're not really checking for like representation, like you're 14 and you're looking for porn. You just normalize it, like you desensitize yourself to it, and like you don't think critically about what that's gonna do to your brain. So for years, I was shaping my brain to associate like pleasure and arousal with these certain images. You can't sit here and tell me that that doesn't have an effect. We know that people do have implicit biases towards people who look different than them, present different than them, etc. I've talked a lot about race. There are a lot of people on like Grindr, for instance, who have racial preferences. Well, they label it as preferences. Let me stop myself right there. I like heard it and was like, it doesn't really feel like a preference. It feels like a learned association. I don't think there is any reason for someone to prefer one race over another. Hold on, my dad is calling me. Okay, sorry about that. I'm sure the rest of the video will be at a different angle. That's gonna bother me, but whatever, I'll get over it. But I do think that it's something that like was ingrained in us at such an early age that it's quite difficult to unlearn it. I just worry that when we get really upset or angry about someone doing something so blatantly racist, we're not actually bringing them into that conversation, which is necessary for them to understand. The things that I term preferences are not actually preferences. They are implicit or explicit associations that I have. I think as gay people, there's an extra hurdle we have to cross, which is shame. I experienced so much internalized shame. I thought if someone could validate me, then I would feel fine. So for years, I was like hooking up with people. I was like dating people, but we really just only hung out to have sex, and I never dated them for longer than like 2 or 3 months. I was using people, I was hurting people a lot because I couldn't admit to myself that I just wanted sex because I felt like a whore or a homewrecker or like someone who uses other people. Like I felt manipulative and abusive. But like if you just go to someone and you're like, hey, I just want to fuck, like I just want to have sex, that's, I see you as sexy, that's not dehumanizing and didn't like, physically make you feel afraid. That's a compliment. Like that feels good to me. I don't know about you, but like I like that shit. Like I like feeling desired. So I don't really think there's anything objectifying or dehumanizing about going to someone and just hooking up with them. No strings attached, baby. Leave your baggage at home. You can have your baggage. You don't have to get over that person through a one night stand. But when I tell you, I just got over people so much faster. I could like be at peace with things that happened to me. At first it's hard, but when it goes really well, you're gonna be like, oh damn, am I catching feelings? And you can recognize that. The first time I like went and just hooked up with someone, I went into it and was like, I'm confident, this is gonna be a one night stand. And it was great, we had so much fun. And then I left and was like, that was so fun, I wanna do it again. And there was some loneliness, there was some like real sadness and depression that came out through this cycle. Like after a few times, like I felt like I hit rock bottom. I was like, why am I doing this? I just want to be with someone. Like I feel like I keep going to these people and then pulling myself away from them, which only makes me feel lonelier. But I kept at it. It's a discipline. Like being confident is a discipline. You have to continue to do it even when it's hard. I realized that I'm desirable to many different kinds of people, hook up with different kinds of people. I would hook up with guys who like I never thought I would get with because they met like conventional beauty standards. But I was like, fuck it. I am just as confident, desirable, and sexy as you. Hooked up with them. It was like, whatever. That really wasn't some spiritual experience just because like you match the beauty standards that like media portrays. Which was liberating in its own right. Like, let me tell y'all, bag a meat sack. Go to the grocery store, go to the deli section, get you a hunkin' sack of meat. No thoughts, head empty, himbo type shit. One and done. That was what all the hype was about. This is what is recruited in porn. Like, what? Like, I could do this. You did it. And like, right? That's all I gotta fucking say. I should have lied to people. Guys be like, oh, are you masked? And I'd be like, oh man, totally. I get there, act like I was some dude. Got what I wanted, left. Some people will say you are sacrificing or forfeiting your identity to please someone else, to please the white man, the straight man, the het, mask man, whatever. And I understand that. There comes a point when you do want to be serious with someone and you're kind of leaving this phase where you're just exploring yourself, you're regaining your confidence. You don't want to say like, oh yeah, like I'm masculine. I personally think that's yikes as hell. I would never be like, oh, I'm masculine. Yeah, I'm a person. When I get my nails done, I'm like, this is fun. Like, I like this color. Like, you have to work at that too. You have to unlearn gendering things. I got more options in the clothing store, you know? If you're not gonna be serious with someone, why be like open and honest and vulnerable with them to a point where you can get yourself hurt? Like, be honest with someone. Me telling this guy, oh yeah, I'm masculine, totally. That didn't hurt me. I got to act for 30 minutes, closer to an hour. That was fun. That was a fun role. I got my little meat sack. I had fun. Like, it was good. Oh, it was good. And then I went home and was like, I don't feel like I like sold my soul to the devil, to the mask for mask god. I just lied to this guy and then got to have a lot of fun. Got to feel really good about myself. And it was kind of exciting to like get away with it. Like that added to my confidence. So my first boyfriend was very like masculine presenting, which I think is where like a lot of my self-consciousness comes from. So it feels good to just like hook up with someone who kind of embodies some of that and then like walk away. I don't have to put so much pressure on myself to be masculine or like be with someone who is masculine or straight presenting. It's liberating. It's liberating. I'm all out here for the liberation sisters. Speaking of liberation, I'm looking like a spring flower. People will try to shame you for being gay. People will try to shame you for being LGBTQ, queer, etc. Y'all, if you are in the alphabet soup, if you're in any marginalized community, people are going to shame you for that. Things you don't really have much control over. Accept that. Accept that you can't control that. Accept that you can't control what other people say about you. Listen to yourself. What do you want? What can you control? You're very smart. You are very smart. I'm very smart. You're very smart. Okay, we've established that. Cool. Get your meat sack, honey, and then go home. Go home. Never talk to them again. I promise you they will inhale enough poppers to give themselves permanent brain damage. They're not your problem. You cannot fix everyone. Enjoy yourself. Relinquish control of everything that you can't. What I'm trying to say is beauty standards, very toxic in the gay community. But sometimes you can use them to your advantage to help yourself get over a breakup or just like enjoy yourself. And it's up to you to know when to stop struggling and to give yourself permission to stop struggling. We can change these beauty standards and we can help young gay people not feel like they have to look a certain way to be desired or beautiful. Y'all stop, stop disrespecting yourself. Stop hyping up these people. You are just reinforcing that expectation that that's what you need and that is what is beautiful. You are wasting your time. If you have the energy to perpetuate beauty standards, you have the energy to make yourself feel beautiful. If you have the energy to hype up a sack of meat, you have the energy to hype yourself up. Thank you. So please, just go take care of yourself. Admit when you're feeling some type of way. If you're sad, be sad. If you're horny, be horny. If you're angry, be angry. Work through it. Do something that helps you feel those feelings. Stop trying to control your emotions. Live through them. I promise you, you're going to feel so much better. You're going to feel so beautiful when you start taking care of yourself. Cool, well, this has been fun. You can find me on Instagram or TikTok under Anthony Magnolia. I think TikTok is Anthony Magnolia. Instagram is Anthony Magnolia Music. And DM me. I love talking about this stuff because I want to learn too. I feel like if I've ignored something or I've minimized or I generalize things a lot. I know that that's one of my biggest issues is I conclude very quickly and I don't really explore all the nuances of a situation, which I'm trying to do. Bring those up with me, please. If you really enjoyed this, like it, subscribe, the classic YouTube stuff. Leave a comment. I just want to start conversations, honestly. This is oh, I'm so excited. I hope this is a jumping off point to a greater conversation. And I hope that we as the LGBT community can come together and address some of these things. I think we have a lot more in common than we give ourselves credit. And I think that a lot of queer people have gone through similar things that if we would sit down, slow down, and talk to each other, we'd realize how connected we all really are. I think that's beautiful. Have a good day, everyone. Bye.